They said, guess what? I'm better than you, can't stop, still better than you. I said, better than who? Baby, you do you, now let me do what I do. They can't prove they're better than you, they can't stop, and I'm better than you. Guess what? Better than who? Baby, you do you. Only compete with what you do, don't compare.
This reading is going to be secrets revealed. So basically what secret is about to be revealed to you. First we're going to get what you think you know, then we're going to get what's actually going on, and then we're going to get the secret, and you're going to pick 1, 2, or 3. So for number 1, what do they think they know? For number 2, what do they think they know? For number 3, what do they think they know? Just a little bit. There we go. And what is the truth for number 1? What is the truth for number 1? What is the truth for number 1? What is the truth for number 2? What is the truth for number 3? What is the truth for number 3? Truth for number 3. And what's secret for number 1? Secret for number 2? Not 2, just 1. Thank you. I got a flipper. And what's secret for number 3? There we go. Now, if you don't know my little trick that I like to do, it's always 1, 2, 3, which one is most true for me, and whichever one your eyes are drawn to is the one for you. So let's do it real quick together. 1, 2, 3, which one is most true for me? So this is number 1, this is number 2, and this is number 3. Pause for the timestamp. Okay, number 1, what you think you know, what's true, and the secret. So what you think you know, we have Queen of Spears, intricate flowing energy, and meditation. What is the truth? Continues despite loss, 5 of Spears. And the secret, we have sharing knowledge, the Hierophant. Honestly, you're someone who is very wise, and you have a lot of life experience. And I feel like a lot of people take your knowledge very lightly, your wisdom very lightly, your talents and your gifts. And I feel like more and more people are starting to realize just how important you come into play when it comes to, let's say someone asks you for advice, you give the best advice, and let's say, someone got in a fight, you solve the situation very easily. So whether you know it or not, people go around saying, oh, well, you should ask them for advice. They're actually very good at it. So they may not say it out loud, but don't be surprised if more and more people start coming forward to you and asking you for help with things just because you're very talented. The advice being given to you at this time is, only people who are grateful and thank you for helping them, that's where you should extend your energy. No good really comes from helping people, and they always keep running, keep asking you for your time, effort, and energy, but don't give any back. And especially if they don't even give you any credit, if they say, yeah, I figured it out all on my own, and you're like, no, you didn't, just kind of making themselves feel self-important. I feel like you might have some people like that in your life, so it's good to help people. Give a hand up though, not a hand out. If nothing else, some of these people, if you care about them very much and you still want to help them, just tell them to go with their instincts, or their gut, or their intuition. If they're like, well, I don't have that, you can just look at them and say, okay, work on trusting yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, why is that? And if they get angry or they blow you off, that means they're not worth your time. If someone asks you, how do I practice that? Well, how do I help myself with that? That's perfectly fine. You're not here to just give everyone the answers, because then they lose out on learning things for themselves. And when you're not there, they feel helpless. They feel like they don't know what they're doing. They're so used to you just handing them the answer. It's kind of like cheating on a test. If you don't study and you just cheat off someone, you don't care. You're not learning anything valuable. You're just taking advantage and being like, haha, I did it. Whereas in real life, if you take the time to learn and get to know something, you might remember something very valuable at a very important time in your life. So that is what I have for you. Number 1, many blessings. Number 2, first off, the camera just cut off for you. So, you may be cutting some people off at this time. So we're gonna go with what you know, what is the truth, and the secret being revealed. I kind of feel like there's several secrets for you, so we'll see. We have journey will be difficult, 10 of Wands. Then we have marking victory, standing tall, 6 of Wands. Hearing that song that goes, stand tall like you are. It goes, stand tall like you are. I don't know the other lyrics, it just sounds far away. And then we have energy filled riding through darkness, 9 of Wands. Or they're coming to get you. Alright, I almost said number 3. Interesting. I feel like 3 people are involved with this. They're coming to get you just means your spiritual family's coming to get some people for ya. People have been trying to make things rough for you unnecessarily, and you've been doing really well regardless. And so those on the other side are going to bring darkness to light. They are going to shine a light on who these people really are, what they've really been doing, what they're really up to. You've been having inklings. You're gonna get like a lot of confirmations. I heard you're gonna get a lot of disturbances from the other side. You might be having really weird dreams. You've been I feel like you've been keeping to yourself because you're not necessarily sure you can trust anyone at this current point in time. You've been cutting so many people out and like distancing yourself, and for you it's, yeah, sure, it's kind of lonely, but it's so worth it because you would rather be alone and know where you stand versus have people try and walk all over you, stand on top of you. I kind of am getting the vibe like all your life, life's just been one competition. Like you don't try to be better than anyone, but yet you're surrounded by people trying to be better than the next, and I feel like you're over it. But it's going down, and it's going to happen now. Like all these are secrets being unveiled now, so get ready for these people to have their world rocked, and don't feel sorry for them. If nothing else, apologize to yourself for ever even letting these people stay in your life longer than they should have. They weren't even supposed to be there for a full season, is what I heard. They say some people are here from a season. These people were only supposed to be there for a minute, and they just clung to your coattails, dragging along, and you've cut those coattails. You could have listened to maybe like some anti-negativity mantras, or you could have tried some kind of cord cutting ritual of your own, or you could have just really visualized yourself seeing the truth and leaving those people. Whatever you've done, it has had a spiritual impact, and you've officially given permission to the other side to say, okay, we're gonna go get them. I'm hearing venom, 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 venom. It's gonna be ugly. I'm gonna be honest. I almost said number 3 again. It's definitely 3 people. I don't think you were drawn to pile number 3. If you were, it's a continuation, but really and truly, it's 3 people. I'm getting like, one always likes to bring people down. The other one likes to always talk about how they're gonna do so much better than everyone else. And the other one just is kind of always in a negative energy and just does everything they can to get your attention to distract themselves from their problems. So that's what I have for you. Number 2, many blessings. Number 3, I heard it's a party in here and a jungle out there. And I'm hearing that song, It's a Jungle Out There. It goes, it's a jungle out there. It's, I think it's like the theme song for the TV show Monk. So maybe you're the investigative type. I don't know yet. First we're gonna see what you know. What is the truth? And then, secret. I heard secrets, I have a secret. I feel like your secret's gonna come out. So we'll see. We have Page of Swords, either loses integrity or coming into form. I feel like you have a great deep darkness within you, number 3, that you're finally letting out. We have 9 of Swords, anguish, fear, and worry. Heavy energy. Oh, and then we have 10 of Swords, no escape. I'm getting, there's a problem that you have about yourself that you've been ignoring. It's not going to get better unless you face it, unless you face yourself. And if it's too difficult to face it on your own, ask for help. I mean, they have online therapy. There's plenty of classes you can take to dive into your inner self. There's cognitive behavioral therapy. I highly recommend that if you don't feel like talking to someone else. It's where you literally write down everything you do, how you felt when you were doing it, what caused you to do things the way you were doing them. Just, if you want an example, on my Instagram, I recently posted some homework about that. But I gave you the basis for it regardless. It's just more in depth on that if you want to check that out. If not, find your own way. But you're not gonna be able to hide this darkness within yourself anymore. It's going to come to the surface, and it's not going to come bubbling up. It's either going to destroy you and others around you, or you're gonna admit to yourself and to others that you have deeply rooted issues that you just didn't want to face because you were afraid of it, or you just felt like you would break completely if you didn't face it. But here is the thing. To ignore something this important, it affects you and it affects everyone around you. You're so busy trying to hide a secret, you struggle to keep up with your story, and before you know it, your story doesn't match, and before you know it, your emotions are all over the place because you're stressed out, because you're just putting all your energy into trying to hide something versus trying to help yourself through it. You will find the people who actually care about you, if you are honest with them and you tell them your struggles. You don't hide them, you don't try to manipulate the situation. If you're very brutally honest with yourself and you say, I have this darkness inside me and I don't know how to handle it, and you talk to someone else, for all you know, someone else you know has gone through something similar, and even if they haven't, they might have a friend who went through something similar and they can say, oh, well, this really helped me, or, if you talk about it and you think about it rather than hide it, you're that much closer to finding a solution. Whereas bagging it and tagging it, eventually it's gonna fall out. Eventually someone's going to find it. You are being asked by the other side, rather than wasting your time, effort, and energy trying to hide something that is blatantly obvious to everyone around you. You probably notice people are acting more and more strange around you. It's because you're less and less you and more of what you're pretending to be. It will relieve everyone if you would reveal it yourself versus what is about to happen. You are going to be called out by everyone you know. Your greatest weakness can be your greatest strength. It's only a weakness if you let it be a weakness. And it's a strength if you are able to face it and say, yes, this is a part of me, and it's a part of me, but it is not who I am completely as a person. Everyone has darkness within them. It takes true strength and courage not to hide the darkness, but to admit to it and to ask for help. You're at a point in your life where you're going to take one path, another path, or another path. Your first path is you're either going to go out of control and lose all integrity you ever had because you're a puppet of yourself. You could basically lose your mind because your emotions just can't be contained anymore because of the buildup. And then there's this, where you just give up completely and you just lash out at everyone else just to take the blame off of you because you don't feel like holding yourself accountable for whatever it is that you're doing. And that's not coming from me, that's coming from the other side. So I just want you to know those are your three options if you don't decide now to finally take control of your life for the very first time. You need to be honest with yourself. And the minute you do that, you will see a lot of doors opening that were closed before. That is your biggest message. And I don't know what that means for you, but only you'll know and only you'll find out. And I'm really not going to dive any deeper into it already because I don't even know if you'll be willing to hear this whole reading out or finish it because you don't like to look at things that hurt you, but you're really just hurting yourself, and you hurt others when you don't show them vulnerability. You'll never have real relationships unless you're vulnerable. I wasn't always a vulnerable person. Vulnerability is very, very difficult, but anyone who can choose that vulnerability and be open and honest with people, those are the real heroes in life, because they can look at you and they can say, I have been through hell and back, and the fact that I can still talk to you, I'm very proud of myself. And vulnerability is just all about opening up and showing people who you truly are. Now, what people do with that, people will do with that, but it's up to you to view yourself and to treat yourself and to be yourself. Be true to you. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. And I feel like all this stemmed from a lot of traumas that you've been through. But there's one big issue that always comes back up for you, that you always feel a certain type of way about something, and you need to ask yourself why it still hurts you so much now and why you're letting it take over your life rather than choosing to live. You're choosing to just wait out the pain versus choosing to live. And that's, advice from me personally as someone who has been there. I have been in many relationships with myself and with others to where I would tell myself I need to leave this behind, and I wouldn't do it. And the longer I would keep putting myself through it, the more painful it got for me, the more painful it would get for everyone else. I would resent myself, I would resent everyone else. And rather than doing that, rather than keeping that cycle going and just making myself and everyone miserable because I'm doing something I clearly don't like, is clearly making me unhappy, I would make everyone around me unhappy because I felt like, I couldn't or I wouldn't. And that was my biggest problem, was just choosing not to. Because the minute you choose to, yeah, it's really, really, really painful. Yeah, there can be casualties and it feels like war. But here's the thing, that's temporary and it passes. Whereas if you choose to live with it every single day of your life, it sticks with you, and that wound inside you, it gets bigger, it putrefies. It turns not only into a wound, but just you yourself are nothing but an open, gaping wound. And that might sound volatile, but you feel so volatile inside, and for you to get nothing but swords, page of swords, you got 9, 10, and page of swords. Your energy feels like you're dreading relief, you're dreading escape. I feel like maybe you were taught by others that it's a burden to be real, or it's a burden to tell people your problems. Those people aren't people. That's just fakers being selfish. Oh, I don't want to deal with your problems. Oh, I don't want to hear it. Oh, well, life isn't real and it doesn't matter what happens. Yes, it does. You are putting a gaping hole in your soul rather than filling it with the love it deserves. You deserve love. You don't deserve pain. And I just wish you could see that. And if you didn't before, hopefully this helps to open your eyes. And if you ever need advice or you ever need help, I always give my business email in there. I have no problem helping other people, but you have to want it. You have to want it, because it's not easy. And every day, especially if it's something you've gone through for years, every day is a struggle. Because it's a habit. It's something you've been doing your whole life. And, it's like you love eating a chocolate bar every day, and you've done that every day for the last 20 years. It's really hard not to eat your favorite chocolate bar. You get grumpy and you're unhappy, and of course this isn't as easy as just a chocolate bar, but I'd rather give something more simple and forthright versus just bringing up something traumatic and saying you're stuck in the same pattern and there's no point in running on the little hamster wheel forever, when you can just slowly go slower on that wheel until it stops and you can step off and breathe. When was the last time you took a nice deep breath? Do me a favor, breathe in, hold for a moment, and feel that inside you. All that you're holding in, just let it all out right now. Just go, push it all out of you. And how that feels with your breath, and how much better that feels, that's how much better you're going to feel once you face this. And you're not holding it in anymore, and you let it out. And you don't have to run. Baby steps. You gotta crawl before you can walk, and you gotta walk before you can run, and you gotta learn to run before you can sprint, and you gotta learn to sprint before you can run a marathon. Like, rather than trying to do everything at once, just take it one step at a time. First step for you should be realizing you have something within you that makes you unhappy. And recognize that you don't want to do that anymore. That's the only reason why you're here. That's the only reason why you picked number 3. That's the only reason why you chose this reading. So, support, and you know where to find me should you need assistance. But I'm going to tell you straight, I'm firm but fair. I will not sugarcoat things, but I can tell you I've been in pretty much every dark situation you could imagine, so there's nothing I couldn't relate to. You don't need someone who coddles you, you need someone who is real. And you don't need someone who's just going to criticize you. You need someone who's going to give it to you straight, but ask you if you're okay, and I'm that person. I know you're not okay, but I want you to be okay. So, take that first step. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for the people around you that, you're hurting. Do it for yourself. Because if you can help yourself, imagine how much more you could actually do to make your life how you would actually want it to be. True happiness. All we want is for our soul to be happy. That's all our souls want for us. My goal every day is to have one happy moment. Just one every day. And if I can have that one happy moment every day is amazing. And I'm so proud of myself because I couldn't always do that. There were times where I had no happy moments. There were times when I didn't want to live every single day of my life, and that was when I was a child. So if anyone knows darkness, if anyone knows pain, I assure you, that's not even a fraction of mine. But if I can do it, I know you can do it. It's going to be hard, but the more pain you go through and survive, the more powerful you become. Period. Exclamation point. Truly. So, take care of yourself and help yourself. And think about what I've said. And if you stayed for this whole thing, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for listening to this reading because I know it's difficult. Okay? I'm proud of you. Be kind to yourself and just take one step at a time. And if you can't even speak it out loud, if you don't even want to think about it, write about it. Write about it. And if you can't read what you've written that day, read it when you're ready. All I'm asking is that you try. As long as you try, be proud of yourself that you tried. It's when you don't try that you've given up on yourself. I refuse to let you give up on yourself, number 3. I will never let anybody give up on themselves. Ever. Now, I can tell you what to do. I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make them drink it. So tell me, oh almighty stallion, will you drink the water? Or will you just look at it and turn away? Will you turn away from yourself? Or will you look at yourself and say, I can do this? And you can. You just have to accept that you can. That's what I have for you, number 3. Many blessings. Many blessings to you all, and I hope this helped you. Love, Magigoddess. Until next time.